there is a viral celebrity series called 10 Essentials, designed to showcase a few personal items people can't live without. Many NBA players use the camera to show off, covered in jewelry and limited edition streetwear, using flashy outfits to signal their status. But when Yuki Kawamura from Japan opened his bag, it shattered everyone's expectations. There were no flashy accessories. Instead, there were 4 simple items: a pair of basketball shoes, a basketball, 2 English books filled with notes, and 2 handwritten letters from his grandmother, worn from being handled over and over again. These items connect the entire basketball journey of this 5'8" guard. They hold the story of how he went from a small town in Yamaguchi, Japan, to knocking on the door of the NBA, built on persistence and love for the game.
ジムで一人で練習していても、世界の舞台に立っていても、コートに立っている時は元気が出ますね。バスケットボールへの姿勢は変わらないの。
In 2001, Yuki was born in a small town with a population of fewer than 30,000 people. But basketball was not his first love. Before the age of 7, he was obsessed with Japan's baseball league, one of the most popular in the world. It wasn't until a visit to a sporting goods store, when he was drawn to a basketball jersey, that he fully turned to basketball. His father, Yoshikazu Kawamura, was a basketball fan. After learning about his son's interest, he personally built a hoop in the yard, installed protective netting, and set up waterproof covers so that his son could train in any weather. In 2nd grade, Yuki joined a local basketball team. Being undersized, he was immediately overwhelmed by physical contact, but one sentence from his coach, "Don't let your height become a limitation in life," was etched deeply into his heart. From that moment on, every loose ball, every possession, he competed to the absolute limit. After losing a crucial game in 4th grade, he made a rule for himself: 500 shots every single day. That relentless discipline paid off. 1 year later, he led his team to a national championship, and it convinced him that effort would eventually lead to transformation. In middle school, his father took him to watch Japan's high school Winter Cup. At that higher level, he first truly recognized the gap in size. He even began to wonder if he should choose a more stable path in life: attend a public high school, get into a university, and become a PE teacher. But his passion overpowered every doubt. After graduating from middle school, he left his hometown and moved to Fukuoka Daiichi High School, stepping into a grueling training environment. The day before games, he didn't just attempt 500 shots, he made 500 shots. Even when the gym was about to close, he would beg his coach for an extra 30 minutes just to complete his daily target. That extreme dedication brought him remarkable success. During his 3 years in high school, he won 4 national championships and 2 Winter Cup titles, becoming the best high school player in Japan. In his senior season, he led Fukuoka Daiichi High School to complete dominance. He even defeated a professional B3 team in the Emperor's Cup qualifiers. Before graduating, he was signed as a special designated player by the Sanan Neo Phoenix, officially beginning his professional career. He later earned an annual salary of 100 million yen, becoming a national basketball icon in Japan. At the 2023 FIBA World Cup, in a must-win game against Finland, his team was down by 18 points. He came off the bench. He scored 15 points in the 4th quarter, finishing with 25 points and 9 assists, leading a historic comeback. He showed the world what this undersized Japanese guard was capable of. At the 2024 Paris Olympics, against a French team led by Victor Wembanyama, he scored 29 points. With that performance, he completely shattered the stereotype that smaller players can't compete at the highest level. Just when everyone believed he would stay in Japan and comfortably enjoy life as a superstar, Yuki made the boldest decision of his life: to give up everything at home and chase the NBA alone in the United States. When he first arrived in America, the language barrier made everything difficult. He couldn't understand plays. He couldn't communicate with teammates, so he carried English books with him everywhere, using every spare moment to study. He covered his room with basketball terminology, slowly breaking through the communication barrier. fighting to establish himself in a foreign country. In October 2024, Yuki's persistence paid off. He signed a two-way contract with the Memphis Grizzlies, officially stepping onto an NBA court. In a league defined by size and strength, his height disadvantage was magnified. Physicality, pace, experience, every aspect was a challenge. But he didn't back down. He poured sweat in the gym. He gave everything in Summer League. He seized every second of playing time, using speed and sheer will to compensate for physical limitations. But at the end of the season, the Grizzlies did not renew his contract. His brief NBA journey came to a pause, yet he didn't return to Japan. And he didn't give up. He stayed in the United States, holding on to his dream. In the summer of 2025, he played in the Summer League for the Chicago Bulls and delivered standout performances. In July, he signed another two-way contract with the Bulls, but fate tested him again. A blood clot in his right calf kept him off the court. In October 2025, he was waived. From signing, to injury, to being cut, the repeated setbacks never broke him. He stayed in Chicago, quietly rehabbing and training relentlessly. And those two handwritten letters from his grandmother became his constant source of strength. There were no fancy words in them, only simple lines like, "Keep going," and "Take care of yourself." Yet whenever he felt exhausted or lost, those words gave him the strength to start again. On January 7, 2026, the Bulls officially announced they had re-signed Yuki to another two-way contract. This 5'8" guard, after going through contracts, injuries, waivers, and recovery, finally returned to the NBA stage. From a boy practicing in a small town in Japan, to giving up a 9-figure salary to chase his dream in America, from a two-way contract with Memphis to the ups and downs in Chicago, Yuki Kawamura was never defined by his height, and never consumed by glamour. He proved through action that basketball does not belong only to the tall. True greatness is never measured by physical height, but by what's inside. Not chasing flash, not fearing doubt. Working in silence. Putting down roots quietly. That is Yuki Kawamura, a dream chaser who wrote an extraordinary basketball life with an ordinary body.